There's a food that has been sitting in markets across almost every continent for centuries, eaten by farmers in West Africa, families in East Asia, communities across Central America and the Pacific Islands, and modern nutritional science keeps coming back to it and saying, yeah, this one is actually remarkable. I'm talking about the sweet potato. And today, I want to walk you through what genuinely starts happening inside your body when you make this a regular part of your diet. Not the Instagram version, the actual peer-reviewed version. Let's get into it. Setting the record straight. A lot of people, particularly anyone who has spent time in diet culture or followed a low-carb approach, have been told to be suspicious of sweet potatoes because of their sugar content. The name itself does damage. Sweet feels like a warning label. But here's what the evidence actually says. A boiled sweet potato has a glycemic index of around 44 to 46. That's considered low to moderate. It releases energy gradually, not in a spike. The fiber content slows absorption considerably. This food does not behave like candy in your bloodstream. The name is misleading. The nutrition is not. Sweet potatoes are grown on virtually every continent. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, global production exceeds 90 million tons annually, with the majority grown in sub-Saharan Africa and East Asia. This is not a trendy health food. This is one of the most widely consumed root vegetables on Earth, feeding populations for over 5,000 years. There's a reason it survived that long. The beta-carotene story. That deep orange color comes from beta-carotene, and it is not just a pigment. It's one of the most well-studied compounds in the plant kingdom. Your body converts it into vitamin A as needed, and vitamin A is involved in your vision, immune function, skin cell turnover, reproductive health, and your body's first-line defense against infection. The World Health Organization estimates that vitamin A deficiency affects around 190 million preschool-age children globally, plus millions of adults, particularly across sub-Saharan Africa and South and Southeast Asia. It contributes to preventable blindness and sharply increased susceptibility to infection. One medium sweet potato delivers 100 to 150% of your recommended daily vitamin A intake through beta-carotene, a single vegetable hitting your full daily target. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that regular consumption of orange-fleshed, sweet potatoes significantly improved vitamin A status in at-risk populations, in some cases more effectively than supplementation, because the food matrix improves absorption. When you eat sweet potatoes regularly, your immune system has more to work with. Your skin regenerates more efficiently. These are measurable, documented outcomes. Blood sugar and metabolic health. Here's the part most relevant to people in their late 20s and 30s. Type 2 diabetes doesn't appear suddenly in midlife. It develops over years, often beginning with insulin resistance in your late 20s or 30s, progressing silently while you have zero symptoms. The International Diabetes Federation estimates 537 million adults were living with diabetes in 2021, with projections reaching 643 million by 2030. The trajectory is accelerating fastest in Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Western Pacific. Sweet potatoes contain compounds, particularly anthocyanins in purple varieties, and a unique protein called sporamins, that have shown meaningful effects on insulin sensitivity. A study in diabetes care found that an extract from white-fleshed, sweet potatoes produced significant reductions in fasting blood glucose and improved insulin sensitivity over just 12 weeks. Another study in molecular nutrition and food research found that purple, sweet potato anthocyanins inhibited key enzymes involved in glucose metabolism, effectively slowing sugar absorption. These compounds work quietly in the background every time you eat, not as medication, but as food that genuinely supports your blood sugar regulation. That matters enormously at the age when metabolic habits start compounding. Your gut. A medium sweet potato contains around 4 grams of fiber, soluble and insoluble. The soluble fiber slows digestion, supports healthy cholesterol, and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. But here's the part worth knowing. Sweet potatoes cooked and then cooled develop resistant starch, which your gut bacteria ferment into short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyrate. Butyrate is the primary energy source for the cells lining your colon, and it plays a direct role in reducing gut inflammation and protecting against colorectal cancer. A review in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that higher butyrate production from resistant starch was consistently associated with lower colonic inflammation markers and reduced colorectal cancer risk. As colorectal cancer rates rise globally, especially in countries undergoing rapid dietary transitions toward processed food, eating sweet potatoes regularly is a genuinely evidence-based protective behavior, and it costs very little. Hey, if you're finding this useful, take 1 second and hit the like button. It helps this video reach more people who are looking for exactly this kind of honest, science-backed information. I really appreciate it. Now let's keep going. Heart health. Beyond beta-carotene, sweet potatoes are rich in chlorogenic acid, anthocyanins, and vitamin C, compounds that collectively reduce oxidative stress and systemic inflammation, two of the central drivers of cardiovascular disease. A study in Nutrients found that purple, sweet potato extract significantly reduced C-reactive protein, one of the most reliable blood markers of cardiovascular risk. Another study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition connected higher anthocyanin intake with a 32% lower risk of heart attack in women, particularly those in their 30s and 40s. Sweet potatoes also deliver potassium, around 540 milligrams per medium potato, and magnesium, both essential for blood pressure regulation. For a generation approaching the age window, where cardiovascular risk begins to quietly accumulate, these nutrients are compounding investments. Every meal that delivers them is building something meaningful over the next 20 years. Skin, energy, and hormones. Beta-carotene doesn't just work internally, it accumulates in skin tissue, where it acts as a natural photoprotectant. A study in the British Journal of Nutrition found that regular carotenoid-rich food consumption produced a measurable improvement in skin tone, a warmer, more even complexion, rated as healthier across different ethnicities in the study group. That makes it genuinely globally relevant, not just a benefit for one population. Vitamin A also drives skin cell turnover, the same biological pathway that dermatologists target with retinoid prescriptions for acne, hyperpigmentation, and fine lines. Eating sweet potatoes won't replicate a clinical dose, but it builds the nutritional foundation that pathway runs on. The B6 content supports hormone metabolism, relevant for anyone experiencing hormonal fluctuations in their 30s, and the complex carbohydrate structure provides sustained energy without the crash that follows simple sugars. If you deal with mid-afternoon fatigue after carb-heavy meals, the glycemic stability of sweet potatoes is a practical, food-based response to that pattern. The bar I use for deciding whether a food is genuinely worth eating regularly is simple. Does it do more than one thing? Does it give your body multiple meaningful things at once, without asking much in return? Sweet potatoes clear that bar comfortably. They support your immune system and vision through beta-carotene. They feed your gut and reduce colorectal cancer risk through fiber and resistant starch. They contribute to heart health through potassium, magnesium, and antioxidants. They support blood sugar regulation through their low glycemic release and unique bioactive compounds. They improve skin, hormonal balance, and sustained energy through vitamins A, C, and B6. And they do all of this at a price point accessible to people across virtually every country and income level. You don't need to eat them every day, but making them a regular, reliable part of how you eat, roasted, boiled, mashed, however you enjoy them, is the kind of decision that quietly adds up to something significant. Not the dramatic, expensive kind of nutrition, the steady, cumulative, real food kind. Put sweet potatoes on your plate. Your body will notice. And if you want to keep getting this kind of content, real science, real food, no noise, subscribe to this channel. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, so you catch the next one, and I'll see you then. Take care of yourself.